So if I'm calm, he's calm.
Right. I mean, because most of it is about they're reading you and your reaction to a person.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So it's the same as like just riding in the back of the car.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I like slow down, do a
Whip
180
it
and
around.
accelerate, he's working.
Whole other ball game. Yep.
So it's just one of those mentalities that he just
You're a handsome boy, aren't
catches
you?
on and understands.
You're a handsome boy.
I just find them, I mean, I think dogs are extraordinary anyway, and then when you add this next level of kind of service and engagement
Yep.
and training, it like to me, it's just really an extraordinary thing. All right, so I'm just going to give a 3 count and then away we go. Yeah. Okay. And like I said, you guys can just look right at me.
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Sheriff Kane, Sergeant Frost, we thank you for joining us today. And Finn, thank you for gracing us with your presence as well. This is Canine Finn with Hancock County Sheriff's Office. So I do want to talk about some of the conflict that's going on as far as the canine program and the back and forth with the commissioners. So, reportedly this isn't, the first time that you've all disagreed, if you will, on various issues. That tends to happen. Is there something different about this time? Because you took to social media to talk about the issues. So what was different this time?
It was different in this time is that we've lost one of our canines. The deputy that was the other canine handler went to Central Maine to be closer to their families and took the dog with him, obviously. So we were down one canine, and if we don't have the two, we're going backwards, and we don't want to go backwards as an organization, as a department. And they work different shifts so that it was much easier to have somebody right on shift with the dog than try to call somebody out in the overtime and all of those kind of things. So, to me, not having 2 dogs, we're going backwards, and that's not what we want to do.
There seems to be kind of a difference of opinion as far as the cost associated with getting a second dog, whether it's training and certifying a new handler and then just the acquisition of the dog and then training the dog itself. So why do you feel the cost is justified? And I know you've asserted that there won't technically be any additional cost because of how monies are configured. So can you just kind of explain the cost debate?
Yeah, the money's in the budget now. The budget committee approved it. The commissioners approved the budget, and with that, it had 2 dogs in it. And our program got started in 2016 with a contribution from citizens that wanted us to have a canine. So we've used that money to purchase Finn when we got him. We have a reserve to replace another dog. So that's why. And the dog handlers get compensated for maintaining those dogs, taking care of them. And it used to be they would get paid X amount every day, whether they were working or not. But in order to try to cut cost and keep both dogs, they put a proposal, they being the patrol division put a proposal together, the union accepted it, patrol voted on it unanimously, that they would get reimbursed this only on the days that they were off, on their days off. So the regular working day, that would be part of their day is to maintain the dog, but on their days off, they'd get reimbursed for that.
So they're actually, in a way, willing to take less money just to facilitate the acquisition of the second dog.
They know the benefit of having that. I mean, I would have to say probably every officer in our department has had the benefit of one of the 2 dogs helping them either on a drug search or whatever. So they get it.
Sergeant Frost, can you speak to that? You work with Finn every day. You know what he brings to the community. What, in your view, is the advantage of having a second dog in the department?
Yeah, having a second dog is similar to having extra patrolmen in the sheriff's department. So when you have one dog, that dog is reliable to do try to respond to every call. So if you can have a second canine available, it kind of helps divide the calls for service and stuff, and it's an additional resource. It's just, in my opinion, it's like an extra patrolman.
Yeah. How often? I mean, obviously Finn's on break now, but how often would you say you and Finn get called out, and how many calls for service do you think a second dog would absorb?
Yeah, on a regular basis, probably we're getting anywhere between 4 to 5 calls a month for canine requests, and so a second dog obviously would help with responding to those calls, and allow also the canine and the canine handler to have the availability to enjoy personal life too. So if like myself is on vacation, then we know that the second dog would be available, and vice versa. So, and also it depends on the call request itself too, because you know, some canines are certified with certain
Skills or specialties.
and some aren't. And Finn, being a dual purpose canine, can do things more than what a single purpose canine can do.
Sure. There is some debate. We did get a statement from Commissioner Clark, who is in opposition to you acquiring the second dog. His statement seemed to insinuate that he feels there is a one dog department policy, and you feel that there is a two dog. So I just want to kind of clarify sort of where you stand on, you know, how this dog is covered. If you
Well,
will.
I'm not aware of a policy that says you can have one dog or two dog. You know, we have policies that Travis has to follow in using Finn, just like our other canine handler had to do. So it's something that we got the second dog because we hired the deputy that already had the dog. So we didn't go out and ask for another dog. But once you have something that good, an asset that good, to give it up, you know, you're going, as I said earlier, you're going backwards, and we don't want to go backwards. And Finn's not always available. Travis is not all available. We like to make sure that our deputies have a life. I mean, Trav has a couple little kids, and you know, they kind of like to spend some time with his kids and his wife. And by having that second dog, that takes some of that burden off.
Yeah. I do want to wrap it up if we can, but I just want to, where do you see this sort of conflict going, and how do you think it could be resolved?
Well, the presentation that they put together, that my folks put together, shows that we could, with the pay cut that the deputies agreed to, that we can have two dogs cheaper than one. So the amount of time that they'd be reimbursed on those days off, they'd take care of the dog during their regular workday. So that would be a savings. And you'd asked earlier how many calls in the last, since 2023, we've had 72 calls for dogs, and that's all Hancock County. We've been in almost every community asking for services for them. And I just have to say to the public that the job that Travis has done is just amazing. He came to me and said that he'd like to start a canine program, and I turned him loose. I said, I don't know anything about it. You figure it out, and he's done an outstanding job.
Okay. Well, we thank you for coming in and shedding a little extra light on the situation. We'll continue to follow it. Please keep us up to date, you know, as things develop. But again, thank you for your time, and thank you for bringing Finn in. It was wonderful to meet Canine Finn.
Thank you for your support. We appreciate it very much.
Sure. You still on break?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
That looks like a
Should
yes.
go home. I'm ready to go home.
All right, you guys can just unclip the mics, leave them in the chairs. No need to make them tight or anything else. I've got that at about 7:30 total.
Yeah, so we'll take